face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello and greetings. I'm Magdalite Naga from Pulse of Africa News. We highlight inspiring stories and key moments that are shaping Africa. Let's begin with Ghanaians' plan to upgrade selected Category B and C senior high schools to Category A status. The government of Ghana has secured a $200 million World Bank facility with plans to scale it up to $250 million to upgrade selected Category B and C senior high schools SHAs to Category A status as part of efforts to expand access to quality secondary education. The funding will also be used to expand infrastructure in some existing Category A schools, addressing capacity challenges and improving learning conditions across the country. The Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, disclosed this on Friday, January 9, 2026, during the commissioning of the Gloria Botoma Dade Nafia Basic School at Adquaram in the Okere districts of the Eastern region. The school was constructed by the KGL Foundation. According to the minister, about 30 Category C schools, along with several Category B schools, are expected to benefit from the upgrade program once the funding is fully rolled out. He explained that the intervention goes beyond infrastructure expansion and is aimed at improving overall teaching and learning outcomes. Idrisu noted that the upgrade would be matched with quality-enhancing measures, including deployments of qualified teachers, the provision of adequate learning materials, and improved teaching aids. He said the initiative forms part of broader government efforts to reduce disparities among senior high schools and ensure that students, regardless of locations, have access to improved educational facilities and opportunities. Rwanda and Oman have signed 4 cooperation agreements and programs aimed at strengthening bilateral relations and expanding joint cooperation across key strategic sectors. The agreement covers logistics services, dry ports, supply chains, data centers, cloud computing infrastructures, artificial intelligence, and airport management. They also include initiatives for capacity building, skills development, and the exchange of expertise between the two countries. Said bin Hamoud Al-Mawali, Minister of Transport, Communications and IT, said the agreements with Rwanda in transport, communications and IT aim to expand international partnerships, particularly in East Africa. As part of efforts to enhance air connectivity,
we view Rwanda as the gateway to the hinterland of Africa, and it will enable Oman to work more with the east of Africa, basically. And that's why we've signed the agreements in terms of aviation today, in terms of developing the airport logistics part in the new airport of Kigali. Also, we've signed an agreement to start flights from and to Oman, from Muscat to Kigali and vice versa. Also, we've signed agreements in terms of collaboration when it comes to the logistics of dry ports at both sides of Oman. And finally, connectivity in terms of the digital connectivity. We realized that it is very important for Oman and Rwanda, and that's why the signature today came to put a framework around the cooperation in terms of data centers, cable carrying or digital cables, subsea cables, as well as the e-government.
As part of efforts to enhance air connectivity, Omar Air announced the launch of direct flights between Muscat and Kigali, scheduled to begin in June 2026 with 2 flights per week subject to regulatory approvals. The move is expected to boost trade, tourism and connectivity between Oman and the African continent. Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Oliver Nudingere, said agreement would further strengthen the relations between the two countries.
Rwanda and Oman are connected even geographically because through the East African community, we are connected to Oman through the Indian Ocean. So it's a good day, and we have committed to start implementing the MOUs that we have signed and that we will also be signing in the coming days, and that will benefit our two countries and our two peoples.
The agreements reflect the strong bilateral ties between Oman and Rwanda and their shared commitment to advancing economic and technological cooperation in support of sustainable development and regional integration.
In Ethiopia, more homes and businesses now have access to electricity. Access to power supports education, healthcare, and local businesses. Light changes lives.
China and Lesotho have issued a joint communique pledge to elevate their strategic partnership and deepen cooperation in opposing unilateral sanctions, protectionism and economic hegemonism, while promoting a more equal multi-power world and inclusive economic globalization. Both sides praised the achievements in bilateral relations and reaffirmed their commitment to developing the China-Lesotho partnership as a model of friendly exchange and common development. The communique reaffirmed Lesotho's adherence to the One China principle while emphasizing mutual support on core interests and major concerns. Lesotho's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations, Lejon Mopchuta, expressed support for China's global development, security, civilization, and governance initiatives.
The main reason for the visit for the minister is to strengthen the bilateral relationship between the People's Republic of China and the Kingdom of Lesotho. We are also working on improving our agricultural produce. We have received assistance for the food storage and logistics facility. We have received the agricultural machinery equipment, and we will be working on the agricultural produce market aggregation centers as a next phase for our agricultural development. We are also working on our water and energy program, because Lesotho is the water tower of the Southern African region, and we would like to use our water resources to generate more power to supply the Southern African region.
The two sides also stressed respect for sovereignty, non-interference in international affairs, and opposition to politicizing human rights issues. China and Lesotho highlighted the positive outcomes of China-Africa partnership actions in supporting Lesotho's development in areas including agriculture, energy infrastructure, healthcare, and capacity building, and called for a more just and equitable global governance system. The $1 million AI Film Award was given to Tunisian filmmaker Zubair Jalazi for his film Lili. During the 4th edition of the 1 Billion Followers Summit in Dubai, the award, organized by the summit in partnership with Google Gemini, was presented as part of the gathering that focuses on continental creation economy. The event, that ran from January 9th till 11, 2026, brought together more than 15,000 content creators and influencers, alongside 580 speakers and 150 CEOs under the theme Content for Good. The AI Film Award received 3,500 film submissions. Entries underwent technical evaluations with Google Gemini to ensure at least 70% of production used generative AI tools. Following jury selections and public voting, Lily emerged as the winner from a final group of 5 nominees, which include Portugal, Number 72, Cats Like Warmth, Heel, and The Translator. Business news. Ethiopia and Kenya are expected to lead Africa's economic growth in 2026, with East Africa projected to remain the continent's fastest growing sub-region. According to the United Nations World Economic Situation and Prospects 2026 report, Africa's economy is forecast to grow by 4.0% in 2026 and 4.1% in 2027, driven by stronger performances in Ethiopia and Kenya, supported by regional integration and renewable energy expansions. East Africa is projected to grow by 5.8% in 2026, up from 5.4% in 2025, aided by improved macroeconomic stability in key economies. However, the United Nations warns that high debt levels, limited fiscal space, and food inflation continue to constrain inclusive growth alongside risks from global trade tensions. Growth elsewhere is expected to be mixed, with slight slowdowns in North and West Africa, while Central and Southern Africa post modest gains. Africa's average public debt to GDP ratio is projected as 63% in 2025, with about 40% of countries at high risk of debt distress. Trade growth in 2025 helped cushioning in the outlook, but uncertainty over AGOA and slow AfCFTA implementation remain key concerns. Globally, growth is projected at 2.7% in 2026, promoting UN calls for stronger global coordination and a rules-based multilateral trading system. Heading to sport news, the Cameroon Football Federation, FCAFOOT, led by President Samuel Eto'o, has sent an official letter to the Royal Moroccan Football Federation, FRMF, and its president, Fawzi Lajika, expressing gratitude for Morocco's hospitality and organizations of the Africa Cup of Nations. In the letter, Eto'o's conveyed supporting congratulations and appreciation in the spirit of fair play, thanking Moroccan authorities and the public of the warm and fraternal welcome extended to the Cameroon team, delegation and supporters. Eto'o praised the exemplary organizations of the tournament, highlighting Morocco's effort in ensuring a high standard of competition. Cameroon was eliminated by hosts Morocco Atlas Lions in the quarterfinals on Friday, January 9th, following a 2-0 defeat. Despite the exit, the indomitable Lions recorded an improved performance compared to the 2023 AFCON in Ivory Coast, where they were knocked out in the round 16. Kenyan tennis star Angela Oktowi has surged 82 places up the world rankings following a sensational work at the ITF World Tour Nairobi W35, where she competed a 4 title hole. The 21-year-old claimed back-to-back single titles with a straight sets victory over Italy's Marielena Olcomige in the second leg final, adding to her doubles triumphs in both tournament legs. The achievement marks Oktowi's first consecutive single titles on the ITF circuit. Her dominant performance in Nairobi earned her 35 ranking points and $4,860 in prize money, significantly boosting her global standing and Olympic qualifications hopes. Oktoi, Wimber Junior doubles champion, is now focused on building momentum towards the 2028 Olympic Games, with her strong start to the season signaling a promising reassurance on the international stage. Let's take a look at the weather forecast across Africa. That's all for the hour. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye.